Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. Hope you enjoy. Story number 1. Animal Rights, written by Sinchi Dev. It was a terrible incident, most probably a political shitstorm, as soon as the human ambassador arrived and started to ask for the human was lost. Right in the Novrak territory, sure. It was in the outskirts, and the culprits are probably pirates, but it was still inside their jurisdiction. The Novrak ambassador reviewed the livestream once again. The two battle-scarred Norhunda fighting to the death. These terrible giant creatures made the ground and with it as a recording device quake whenever they hit each other. Their giant tusks pierced each other, staining the soil with their blood. One of them falls, its wounds too severe to keep going. The others roar, bleeding, are victorious, and turns to the camera. Human voices can be heard, but the roar of the Norhunda covers their voices and the livestream ends. The Novak ambassador couldn't contain the chills. Even as he read the report of the Justice Enforcement Team for the 10th time, he felt sorry for the humans. What terrible fate those humans had to endure. Pirates kidnapping them, the live stream to broadcast their deaths, the pirates abandoning them as soon as the Norhunda appeared, and then being killed by the monster at the end. Of course, the pirates never appeared in the broadcast, and neither did the humans. But what other reason could it be for humans to be so close to a monster fight? The guard announces the arrival of the human ambassador. Ambassador Mariah from Terra Prime. The human ambassador was a thin, young female. She looked like the kind of person that cared deeply for others. Exactly the kind of person the Novak ambassador was afraid of in the circumstance. She might even declare war on the basis that the loss of humans was unforgivable. Good cycle, Ambassador Nufa. It must be something very important to call me this urgently. Good cycle, Ambassador Mariah. Yes, it is. Please, sit down. Let me show you. Ambassador Nufa handed her the device with the recording and tried to read what was going through her mind while seeing it. Shock, disgust, and anger. That's it. More with the humans it was. They had a good run. Humans were going to wipe the floor with the Novaks, all because of some stupid pirates. I'm deeply sorry about this, Ambassador. How many laws did they break? Sorry for declaring war. That's a first. As for how many laws the pirates broke, who knew? Hard to say, Ambassador. We can't even see them in the recording. I'd guess protected wildlife trade, blood sports, gambling. Sorry, say what? Animal rights. Animal rights. Like don't torture animals, treat your pet well, don't abandon your animals and such. I don't get it. Ambassador Mariah seems confused too, but continues, Don't worry, we'll find them. There it was, human optimism. Was she thinking that the humans from the recording were still alive? Ambassador Mariah, I have to give you this too. Ambassador Nufa handed her the report of the Justice Enforcement Team. She reads it. She reads it again. She seems ashamed. Ambassador Nufa, is this what you think happened? Said Ambassador Mariah in a very soft voice. It is what we think happened, sorry, but I don't think you'll find them. Ambassador Mariah's face becomes as red as it could. Is this when the war is declared? That is not what happened. They're not the victims here. They are the criminals. What? But if the humans are not the victims, who is? The Norhunda. Those monsters? How could they be the victims? Did you see the scars in those animals? Yes. Surely from another battle. No. Those are human-made scars, probably whip marks. The humans there, made them fight, which is illegal by human laws. Ambassador Nufa wasn't sure what scared him the most. Humans enjoying making monsters fight, the fact that they could actually pull it off, or that they were so dangerous that they had laws in place to protect non-sapient creatures from humans. Don't worry, Ambassador Nufa. We'll find them, and they'll pay. This is no longer who we are as a race. Please accept our apologies, sir. We are deeply sorry that you found yourself involved in this." 8 cycles later, Ambassador Nufa received a communication from Ambassador Mariah telling him that the culprits were found and asking for permission to judge them with human laws. The permission was granted with haste. 56 cycles later, the humans passed on the Galactic Council's newest law projects for the protection of non-sapient creatures. While some joked about humans passing laws to not kill beings too hard, many others supported the projects. The non-sapient galactic laws are now one of the required laws for joining the Galactic Council. Most species respect them out of the incapability to damage wild beings, others because they agree, and the most violent, well, it's a choice between being nice with the non-sapients around you or the humans stop being nice with you. End of story. Story number 2. Broken Men, written by Phoenix Green, 32. I never met the broken man, not the one you mean. The little child, the Terran born, was once a child like me. His father died outside of school, an accident it seemed, and ever since that little child, his eyes no longer gleamed. The broken man sat all alone, nobody was his friend. The Terran born was small and weak, and never did defend. The other kids, both big and small, they saw him as their prey, and every bruise and every cut they mocked another day. I never talked to that small boy, I never even knew the pain and death and suffering that he was going through. The broken man sat silently as children aged and grew, and soon he started helping those whose time at school was new. He spent his days, he spent his nights, and taught them all he knew. He only ever stopped when he was chased out of the room. The broken man sat patiently as people left the room. He had no one to celebrate that he'd done it too. He'd finished school, he'd cleaned it up, and then he'd said goodbye. The cleaners were surprised when all the heaters went awry. The broken man sat willingly out in the pouring rain. The bridge was high, the wind was harsh, the cold, it caused him pain. But over time, all by himself, he talked the girl away. A suicide was never seen, a life was duly saved. Her family, they heard about their savior in the rain, but nobody could find the man when no one knew his name. The broken man came running when the city was aflame. The shells and bombs and guns did all to stop the man in vain. For days and weeks and months he worked to save those trapped below, and every day he swore revenge upon the hated foe. Then broken man served willingly on planets near and far, his heroism legendary, he was our leading star. First 1, then 2, then 10, then 12, then countless more. The one he saved returned from distant, endless, brutal war. Then one day near Palmato's star, the message they came, the brutal tale of the last stand and a hero born of flames. The broken man, now smeared across a narrow patch of rock, made one last speech, made one last stand before his life was lost. Because I know what broken does and know where broken leads. I swore upon my mother's death that none will break as me. When father died, my brother wept and got himself a gun. I couldn't stop his suicide despite how fast I run. Mother drank herself to death, her car a mangled wreck. I was not old enough to grab the keys before she left. And sister grabbed a rope and showed me how to tie a noose. I never would have left the room if I'd seen the roof. But father died in martyrdom. He saved a lot of lives. His life was given willingly to stop those kids' demise. They never told that school about the fate that would be, and each and every one of them a life to live and gleam. And now I see as father did, the lives that we will save. They'll sing our songs forevermore until we meet our grave. For mothers, brothers, fathers, sisters, friends, and so much more, we give our lives for better days and broken men no more. End of story. Story number 3. Rifles Are Not Ones, written by Led Azide 221. Hey, what's this? The elven soldier pointed to the Nuvian soldier's sleek, black rectangular object that had an elongated tube coming out of the end of it. The Nuvan soldier then unslung his object. "Oh, it's my rifle. I use it when I encounter people I don't like that are 3,000 meters away." The elven soldier was shocked. His wand could only cast spells that reach out to maybe 100 meters. "Oh, it's your wand then. Why not just say that instead?" The Nuvan soldier tilted his head in a way that even the elven soldier knew that the foreign soldier was taken back. "This is no wand. A wand can't make someone's head explode into 1,000,000 pieces. A wand can't cast 700 spells in a minute. A wand can be snapped in half with a knee. A rifle, however, can't." The soldier tried snapping his rifle with his knee. "See, try snapping this with your knee. I assure you if you do, you'll make everyone who worked on this M5 modular battle rifle roll in their grave." He then slung his rifle, now deep in thought, or perhaps roll in the ocean. I don't think they got burials at land. The Nuvan soldier looked at the elven soldier, who was clearly distressed. Still, he decided to press on, softer this time. "Look, sorry about all that. Rough day," said the Nuvan soldier. "You know the real difference, though. Your wands are made for everything, attacking people, lifting chairs, cooking dinner, and other things. This," he turned around and pointed at his rifle, "this is only meant for killing." The elven soldier composed himself. "But why? Why limit such a thing to just killing?" The Nuvan soldier shrugged. "I don't know. Take that up with R&D, too. Find out why." Hearing new directives over the comlink, the Nuvan soldier walked out, leaving the elven soldier by himself. Damn, these new Nuvan allies are crazy. They wouldn't remain allies for long. End of story. I would just quickly like to thank the T5 channel members and patrons. Caspar Arnholtz, Cam Maxwell, Barkey, It's Difficult to Pronounce, Lord Azrakal, and Arcadian.